Respected R.S. Sharma ji, ex-chairman ONGC, respected Bihoria ji, ex-chairman IOC, Mr. Garg, Mr. Bhalla, Mr. Krishnan, esteemed audience, ladies and gentlemen. Today this conference is basically what I could visualize from the entire theme is that how to invest in gas, and particularly in the downstream sector. If the gas is available, then what are the various points where it can be, like from the solid fuel, from the liquid fuel, it can be converted to the gaseous fuels, what are the chances and opportunities. But at the same time, many of the investors who are here, they would be having very solid questions in their mind that from where this gas will come. There are two sources, either from exporting the gas by the mode of LNG or from the indigenous sources from where it will be available. I am representing Director General of Hydrocarbon, who oversee the activities of upstream sector in the exploration and development of Indian acreages since inception. So in few slides, I'll covering about from where this gas will come and what are the opportunities for this gas for these investors to look for the future of the country, because around a decade back, nobody thought of that gas production will jump to the margin of almost double of the production for the last 2 decades. And what is the next future of that? Because after the D6, like the production is coming down, production is falling down, there are so many other stories behind it. But the fear behind all these things in the mind of the investors, whether the gas is going to come, how much gas is going to come, whether the additional gas will be a reality in the coming time. So I will be throwing some of the light on those through giving a brief about the Indian E&P sector and gas production potential from the existing reserves, whatever has been established, and from the future exploration from where the gas will come. Then what are the opportunities in the gas sectors and what are the major challenges which an investor is to think before making any investment into this sector. As many of you might be aware that upstream sector, mainly it is divided in two regimes. One is the nomination regime. Nomination regime started from the independence up to 90s. All the acreages, that is oil and gas acreages, they were given on the nomination basis to the national oil companies. Oil India Limited and ONGC, they were the major players in those areas. They have found oil and gas in those times, Bombay High, Ankleshwar, in the east coast, in the northeast. All these production, presently it is coming from the nomination regimes. Then the production sharing contract regime came somewhere in 90s. There were two regimes in that one. One is known as pre-NELP, pre-New Exploration Licensing Policy regime, and then another was the NELP regime, that was New Exploration Licensing Policies. In between, some small size fields which were discovered by ONGC and Oil India Limited way back, but at that time it was thought of because they need some more technological input and some more foreign investment. So they were also bidded for the international competitive biddings during the year 94, 95 to 2001. In 2 rounds, these fields were given, around 28 fields. They are all on production and oil and gas is coming from those fields. Some medium-sized fields like Panna, Mukta, Tapti, Rawa, they were also some of the fields which at that time were thought of to bid by the government, and the private investment has come, private players have come in those fields. Then the most important thing which has changed the scenario of the country is the discovered fields in exploration blocks in the way of pre-NELP and NELP exploration. Pre-NELP, around 270 contracts were offered at the time and 28 contracts were signed. And those 28 contracts have completed their exploration regime and they are now coming to the production regime. Same way for the NELP, New Exploration Licensing Policy, which was announced in 97 and which was operational from 99. And 9 bidding rounds have been completed in that one. So the blocks which are completing, suppose from NEL 1 to NEL 4, NEL 5, whatever the blocks were given, so they are completing their exploration phase and they are coming to the development stages. So the discoveries are coming from those areas. So I'll be briefly covering about what is the status of those blocks, and when we say today the gas production from D6, gas production from some of the other small size fields, they are only the blocks which were offered into the NEL 1 blocks. And still the blocks which are in NEL 6, NEL 7, NEL 8, they have still to complete their exploration phases and come to the development. Another important prospect is the coal bed methane areas, like the coal blocks which were offered, and government came up with the coal bed methane policy. 4 rounds have completed in this one. And here also the necessary degasification of the mines is now necessary. So the gas is coming from those areas, but it is a localized gas at low pressure gas is to be consumed locally. Altogether, if we see our country's total exploration coverage, we are having around 3.14 million square kilometer a year sedimentary basins. And out of that, because of even after all these efforts, only 44% area is such where the exploration has just been initiated in the last 10 years. And only 20% area is which is the well explored area. So the potential really exists in those 44% area where the exploration has been initiated, are the 15% another area where the exploration has not been initiated at all, because we are highly underexplored. We still do not know how much potential is there in our basins unless we do not carry out the exploration and development drillings in those areas. We have, as I mentioned, about 3.14 million square kilometer area, which is only 4% of the total world sedimentary area. And we have divided the sedimentary basins categorically. We have classified them around 26 sedimentary basins. But out of 26 sedimentary basins into the country, the exploration has been initiated in only 15 sedimentary basins. We have prognosticated resources. Resources means the chances where there are a possibility of containing hydrocarbon. It is around 205 billion barrel, out of which only 73 billion barrel have been established so far. So remaining, the prognosticated resources into the country are yet to be explored in those basins, because the exploration has just been initiated in only 15 sedimentary basins. Since this conference is mainly focusing on the gas, we tried to calculate how much is approximately gas resources into the country out of the total hydrocarbon resources. And you can see that in 15 basins where the data is available with us, because mainly the exploration has been concentrated in those 15 basins, it is approximately 400 TCF of the resources which exist into our country. If we add up 50 TCF gas resources of CBM, then total gas resources are around 450 TCF into the country, and out of which only 123 TCF from conventional and about 9 TCF from CBM that has been established so far. So remaining out of 450, only around 130 TCF has been established so far. Remaining potential exists somewhere where the exploration efforts are to be pacified to get those resources into the surface. You may seen that during 2000 to 2011, almost in 10 years, the discoveries have been made all around, whether it is onshore, whether it is deep waters, whether it is shallow waters, difficult areas, and you can see the growth of hydrocarbon discoveries. When the policy was announced, new exploration licensing policy, around 2 discoveries, 5 discoveries, 6 discoveries were happening at that time. And altogether, cumulatively, it is around 122 discoveries which have been made so far. If we add up and see the trend, like the blocks, every third block, every third well is a discovery well, almost 33% success we are having into the NELP and pre-NELP regimes. We are anticipating by the year 15-16, will be somewhere approximately 170 plus oil and gas discoveries into the country. You can see the blocks which have been offered into the country. Almost the east coast entire area has been offered, but the west coast is still left. And because in west coast we have some geological complexities of the basalt, and there are now techniques where the sub-basalt imaging can be done. And we have offered the blocks, and some of the companies like BHP Billiton, international companies who have worked in those kind of areas elsewhere, they are carrying out the exploration activities in those western areas. And we are very hopeful with the seismics which they have received in the west coast, that it will be, like it is told that east is east, but west will be the best, what we understand from their seismics, whatever they have anticipated so far. Another most important is the Andamans, because Andamans, the exploration has not been initiated so far, or it is deep waters and it is very far off from the shore. So it is difficult to get oil and gas from, and how to transport those things. But with the available technologies where the LNG can be converted and various other options, even those areas are most prosperous areas for the gas prawn, because entire blocks around the Andamans now they have been identified, and in these recent offer, we have offered those blocks. So what I wanted to show it to the investors are, like, what are the discoveries which are yet to be struck. If we see the total discoveries, what I have mentioned, Almost you can see around 40% discoveries are from the NELP-1 blocks, because in every block there are one exploration phase. It is a slow pace. Exploration phase is for approximately 7 years to 8 years. Initial years they carry out the exploration. Once the exploration is completed, some discovery is made, then they carry the appraisal and development of those discoveries. So still the discoveries from the NEL-5, NEL-6, NEL-7 and NEL-8 blocks, which will complete their exploration phase into the coming 5 to 6 years, they are yet to come into the coming time. You can see then again, as I said, that there are various phases into the exploration, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 3 is mainly the drilling phase, when they carry out the exploration activities and by the seismic they find out, yes, these are the resources where is to be drilled, and in the last phase they carry out the drilling. So still about 128 blocks, that is 60% of the blocks, total exploration blocks, are in phase 1. So when these phase 1 blocks will be moving towards the phase 2 and phase 3, then exactly we will know the potential of those blocks, how much potential those blocks have for the discovery of oil and gas. As you can see that almost 65% of the discoveries which have been made, they have been made into the phase 3, when they have completed their exploration phase and when they entered into the development phase. And I mentioned in the previous slide that almost 128 blocks are still in phase 1. So when they will be moving towards the phase 2 and phase 3 of the exploration, then exactly we will know how much potential those blocks occurs. And the most important for the country is that amongst the entire discoveries, almost 60% discoveries are the gas discoveries and 11% discoveries are which are associated gas, oil and gas discoveries. So many discoveries which have been made, they are the gas discoveries. But most important thing is to trap all those gas from the remote areas, from the difficult areas, difficult terrains. We all see that like East Coast, D6, that has changed the entire country scenario and the country's production is doubled and all. But I would like to give some of the theme of the East Coast discoveries also. Out of 142 discoveries which have been totally made into the country, still 83 discoveries, that is the almost 60% discoveries are still under evaluation, which is yet to be tabulated, like how much potential they occur. And from the East Coast, out of 62 discoveries, only 4 discoveries have been put on production. Remaining 37 discoveries, that is almost 60% discoveries, are under the various stages of the approvals like FDP or DOC, whether they are commercial, whether the development plan can be appraised and can be submitted. So when these discoveries will come into the production, then exactly we will know the entire potential of the East Coast. Another important aspects into the country is about the shale gas potential. Shale gas, basically the gas which retained into the shale, where our focus was not into the earlier years, but as all of us know that it has changed the entire gas scenario into the US and the other countries. We know there are huge resources of shale gas in all over the world. For as far as India is concerned, we are carrying out the studies. We exactly do not know how much is the potential. We have tied up with the Department of USGS and other agencies. ONGC is carrying out one pilot project on this one. So we have in the first phase, we have identified 6 basins: Cambay, Gondwana, Assam Arakan, KG, Kaveri and Indo-Gangetic. And these areas we are identifying for the shale gas potential. We are formulating the policies. But as you may see that all these areas are already under active exploration in the exploration area regime for oil and gas. So we are looking for the policy modification where one area can be simultaneously given for different regimes, like for the CBM, for the oil and gas, and as well as for the shale gas. So once this policy is formulated, then definitely this will also be a game changer into the gas scenario of the country. With this background, what are the investment opportunities into the country? Now, as far as after the discovery of D6, after the discovery of Rajasthan, materiality and scale of opportunities are world class. It has been proved. Nowhere we are less than in the deep waters or into the inland areas. We have very good market because with the 1 billion population, whatever we produce into the country, we are a power hungry country, energy hungry country. So whatever is produced will be consumed. And we have very good level playing field because after the new exploration licensing policy, each and every company, whether it is the national oil companies or private companies, they have to come, they have to bid at the equal bidding, equal terms. And if they get the blocks, then they can sell out their areas. Everything is predetermined, very transparent, very fair, and very competitive. Most important thing is that we are amongst one of the 28 countries in a sample of 62 countries which have experienced a positive percentage increase in the success rate in the previous years. Even you can see many of the countries which are having very good prosperity, like Syria, like Brunei, like Libya, they are having good prosperity. But the positive rate for the percentage increase into the success rate is less in those countries. Here, basically, we are underexplored. Whatever the exploration efforts, they were concentrated very less into the country. With the new exploration licensing policy and the government efforts, it is now having a definite pace. Everything time frames are fixed for carrying out the exploration activities. So we are amongst the very few countries where the success rate is positive into this one. As I mentioned, there is always remaining a huge demand and supply gap. So whatever is produced into the country will be consumed into the country. Another important factor is, from the investor perspective, gas pricing that is converging towards import parity. We have different pricing, and it is a very myth like the government fixes the prices and all, but it is not so into the country. In the production sharing contract, whatever is produced, there is a price discovery mechanism under which the operator, the contractor, they submits to the government how they get the bids for those areas, and they submit it to the government for the price discovery, like this is the price what I am getting from the operators, and based on those prices the government approves only the formula. It is not the government who says that this should be the price for the gas whatever is being produced. As you can see, like the old gas which was being sold at APM prices of 2.21 to 2.65 have, because these were the nomination areas where the APM gas was being sold, is now presently being sold at 4.2. And you can see the JB gas, it varies from 5.2 to 5.6. For the CBM, even it goes up to $6.9. LNG in presently maybe even higher. I'm not very much aware at the time we got the data about $6. So we are having the varying price fixtures, and these price fixtures are definitely going to attain at a higher level, at a market driven level. Whatever the market demand is there, it is to be driven by the market. It is not something which can be fixed by the government at any of the instances. Another important aspect is, like, we are becoming LNG importer, and in the previous years, like from 2006 when we began, we are almost 6th largest LNG importers, and definitely indigenously whatever we produce, it will be at lesser cost than the LNG what we import from the other countries. So from the local efforts, whatever indigenously we produce the gas, that is definitely going to be consumed because of the demand, and as we have seen that because of the demand we are getting the LNG imports into the country. In this sector, particularly the upstream sector, almost $7.2 billion investment has been made into the exploration. More than $8, almost $9 billion investment has been made into development sectors. We have certain firm commitment where the contractor has to carry out certain activities, and approximately $20 billion is committed in those areas up to the NALPAID blocks, which will be made into the next 6 to 7 years. And once this investment is made, definitely, as I mentioned, that many of the blocks which will be completing their exploration stages, they will definitely be going to give us a fruitful results in terms of the oil and gas discoveries. Not only the exploration efforts, but for the development efforts, and it is along the entire business chain, the value chain, starting from exploration to midstream to service sector. You need R&D centers, you need software development, infrastructure development. We are expecting approximately $40 billion investment into this sector of oil and gas for development of indigenous resources. But most important is about the challenges in the indigenous gas availability. First and most important is the complexity of the reservoir. As we know that reservoir, it is not a mathematical formulation that 2 plus 2 will always be 4. There are various assumptions which we take at the time when we approve the development plan, but it actually proves when we start getting the production and we start modulating the formulation whatever they have anticipated at the time. There are chances that a reservoir may not behave in the fashion in which it was assumed at the time, or reverse also, vice versa also. Like many of the fields like Rawa, at the time when it was given to the contractor, it was anticipated that it will produce very less. But in fact, it has produced almost 100 times of the reserves what was anticipated at the time. But simultaneously, we have the examples of D6, whatever was anticipated at the time, that the producibility will be available from the similar number of wells, but somehow it has not behaved in that fashion. So this complexity of the reservoir is the biggest challenge into the indigenous production of the oil and gas. Another important is the evacuation from the remote areas, because we offer the blocks in all the areas far-flung areas. And to get the gas, because oil it's okay, but for the gas, you have to transport that gas. Like in Tripura, ONGC has found the gas in the previous years, but it is almost locked in for last 6 years. Now they are setting up the power plant there. So somehow we need to set up some kind of network where the gas can be transported from everywhere to anywhere and from anywhere to everywhere. And it is a huge investment in the deep waters. We need, on the policy concerns about the simultaneous exploration of the resources. CBM also, there are concerns about the land availability, because all these areas where the CBM resources are there, land is a problem. Shale gas, yes, we are coming up with a policy, but again the water availability and discharge, these are some of the issues. And the most important is associated infrastructure development. But to the investors, the most important thing is that despite having the resources of the indigenously, they should be ready for alternative arrangements for meeting the geological surprises which at any time can come from the fields. So just to sum up, that gas availability is expected to increase in next 5 years from the firmed or established resources. More than 300 TCF yet to find gas resources exist into the country, and about 60% blocks are still under initial exploration, with 1 million square kilometer sedimentary area which is yet to be offered into the country. So with that, I conclude my session. Thank you for patient hearing.